Yeah, welcome to another episode of the History Hyenas. Chrissy Conquistador Yanni Yaya Hair, Yanni Almost, Chrissy Constriction. I mean, we just got names and names and names. I'm Chrissy Conquistador, and it's Yanni Yucatan, because today we're going to be talking about the Aztecs, and it's going to be a 10 out of 10 episode, because make no mistake, the Aztecs, which are founded in modern-day Mexico City, now, they were wild, wild kids. And, I know now you kind of just see them, they're just selling ices at the park, but that wasn't what they always were.
Yeah, I mean, they did always seem to have a really, really good knack for landscaping, and voila.
Because it would be funny if no matter what, even though when the Aztecs were at the height, I'm talking about Montezuma II, 1500s, the height of the empire, if still there always just is some old lady selling ices at the park, even in the middle of Tenochtitlan, whatever, because the names in ancient Aztecs, I can't pronounce it. I mean, it's Tenochtitlan, which is now modern-day Mexico City, is their capital, but because I just can't say it.
Because, I mean, here's the thing about them. They're always ready to sell me a little plastic baggie of guava slices, and for that, I'm appreciative.
Yeah, the name of the city was Tenochtitlan. And it was founded in 1325 on an island. So, cuz it was probably fucking cute. Now, let me ask you this. When the ban is lifted and we're ready to get back out there, are we going to hop on a Southwest flight and get to Mexico City to see these temples, or no?
Well, what we're going to do is we're not really going to venture off to see the temples unless we have armed guards and security. But what we will do is we'll go to Cancun all-inclusive, get fucking hammered, and then do a day trip to whatever fucking fake temple they take us to and tell us it was Montezuma's bathroom. I don't care about your history.
It's what it is. Because make no mistake, we're going to go there for a family trip, us as the Hyenas, the four of us, and we're going to take Mike, and we're going to sacrifice him and cut him wide open at the top of one of those ancient temples, just like they used to do, and he's going to bleed out. And make no mistake, I know for a fact, if I punched Mike in the stomach right now, he would explode into Whataburger wrappers.
Make no mistake, if we wanted to pull Mike's beating heart out like the Aztecs did at the top of first of all, I don't know if we would get him to the top of the fucking temple, because the kid's going to be out of breath halfway up. So it's going to take us about 3 days to get him up.
Because make no mistake, the ancient Aztecs, and I'm sure the Mayans and Incas and everybody, but the Aztecs specifically, who we'll be talking about today, they used to cut out the beating heart would cut out the beating heart of usually a prisoner of war or one of the nobles. They would cut out the beating heart. And make no mistake, if we cut out Mike's beating heart, in the last move he would ever do is he'd dip it in chocolate and take a bite out of it.
Why the hell not? Why not?
Because chocolate. Oh, yeah, let's get to it. Yeah, well, first of all, I just want to ask you how your day's been, and did you move your monkey? I think we need to start asking each other that. Was the monkey moved?
I have not moved my monkey today. I've been 100% hiking and 100%, which makes 200%, but I was 100% reading about Aztecs, and the other 100%, I was lost in the forest. I'm lost in the forest, Yanni. I was about to bring back, when you were giving my names, I was about to say, otherwise known as, here's an oldie but goodie, Freddy Feta Cheese. Remember that?
Freddy Feta Cheese is a 10 out of 10. I like the names, though, now to correspond with the history we're talking about. So do you approve Chrissy Conquistador and Yucatan Yanni just for today?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Why the hell not?
Yeah, and what are we going to call Mikey? Let's call Mikey Maiz, because you know what? The Aztecs, they mostly ate corn, which was called maiz.
Yeah, maiz Mikey, or Mexica Mikey, because the Mexica tribe was the ones who would eventually go on to become the Aztecs, which is what modern-day Mexico is based on. So we call Mexica Mikey or Maiz Maici. And then what would we call Venetia? What should we call Venetia?
We just call her Venetia, just a black girl living in the Incan time.
Yeah, her name is just Venetia. What's up?
Venetia Jenkins.
Yeah. Now listen. What did you like most about the Aztecs? Was there something that stuck out that you thought was fucking cute?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where we're going to start, but I'll just throw this out there. Mexicans, who are obviously the descendants of the Mexica, the Aztec people, which, like Chrissy said, the Aztec Empire was founded by a tribe called Mexica that went marching for more arable land, and they stumbled upon this ancient city of a forgotten empire that nobody knows the name of, that was about 30 miles or 300 miles. I think it's more 30 miles outside of Mexico City. Who gives a fuck? It's
Doesn't
right outside
matter.
it's in Brooklyn, outside of the Brooklyn, whatever the Brooklyn of Mexico City is, that's where the fucking place is.
Yeah, where Wikipedia sluts, it doesn't matter. Find out that information yourself.
30 or 300. Anyways, probably 30. So they stumble upon this ancient forgotten city, and that city had these major temples, these Egyptian, temples, the Egyptian-looking temples, and these people that flourished about the same time that Rome was flourishing, but they're completely forgotten. So the Aztecs see this, and they go, you know what? We're going to set up camp right here because these temples are fucking cute.
And if you don't think, if me and you were the ones to discover that, if the first thing I would have done is got butt naked and climbed up on one of those temples and just sat like the Sphinx cat that I am, Chrissy Sphinx cat, you got another thing coming. That's the first thing I would have done.
Absolutely. Now, here's the thing. The Mexica tribe walked all the way to this old ancient city that they called something I can't pronounce.
Cuz those kids' Fitbits must have been through the roof.
Through the fucking roof. I mean, those kids, they walked like the Jews out of the desert. And they found this ancient city, and they were like, this place is... the old city was kind of like thrift clothing, and they were like, hey, man, don't let this go to waste. These fucking clothes are cute. We're going to sell them in Williamsburg. So they opened up the cutest fucking thrift shop city you ever see.
Well, make no mistake, speaking of clothing, the rules regarding clothing in that culture were fucking wild. Based on what class system you were in, that's the color you could wear. For example, nobles, only nobles, the top nobility, so like only fucking, people like upper echelon, like basically top shelf gays like your $3 bill brother would wear. They could only wear clothes decorated with feathers, which is fucking cute. Benetia's like, I'm listening. Clothes with feathers. And emperors could only wear turquoise. Now, Yanni, you know me, I'm a kid that loves turquoise. I mean, how would I survive in a city that only the emperor could wear turquoise? What would I do?
I don't know what you would do, but turquoise is a really hippie, only hippies really like turquoise.
Cuz, make no mistake, I like turquoise. I'm fucking Chrissy the Turk. And the punishment for breaking the rules, if you wore the wrong color, so if you wore that wrong color, like I'm most likely to be a shit shoveler, so I guess I would just always have to be in just, shit brown. If I tried to wear turquoise because I went to play dress up and make believe I was the emperor to, fuck myself or whatever it is, you would be killed for that. You would be killed for wearing the wrong color, which is kind of still alive today because obviously I'm a blood and you're a crip. And if we get caught wearing, the opposite colors, we could die for that.
Yeah, I mean, these things don't just fall from the sky. They don't exist in a vacuum. I mean, the Bloods and the Crips, wearing the wrong colors and you getting killed for it. That's what used to happen in the old city of Tenochtitlan. Let's give it a whirl. Can you pronounce it?
The ancient, where the ancient city, which is modern day Mexico City now, what that was called?
No. The Aztec Empire's capital was called Tenochtitlan.
Yeah, Tenochtitlan. Yeah, but it's modern day Mexico City. Because we're going to get to it. The Spaniards came in and just made Mexico City. But yeah, Tenochtitlan.
Which is what I was talking about, which is about 30 miles outside of Mexico City.
Yeah. I don't know what to. I don't fucking know how to pronounce it. I just pronounce it. Just get me more lemonade, Pedro.
They had to put it 30 miles outside of Mexico City. They couldn't build Mexico City right on it because they knew that tourism was going to be a big part of their economy because it's a tropical fucking climate. So they wanted to be able to have buses that made money that could take you from Mexico City to fucking Tenochtitlan. So the kids were screwed in.
Because first of all, the only way that we'd ever even be able to get into Mexico City is if we would have to go with Mike. I mean, the only way, we have to go with the native Mexican and we have to dress him up like our abuelita and walk through those cities like it's fucking Coco.
Because all we'd have to do is get Mikey a sombrero and a poncho and we just hold on to his body and he'll carry us in.
Yeah, because
he'll just look like even more gordo Mexican.
Mikey. And you know what I love about the Aztecs? Because first of all, I think I was born to be an Aztec warrior because the most valuable food and a thing that they was like from God was the cocoa bean, which was used to make chocolate. So if you like chocolate and you like to do a little blow, then Aztecs is the fucking people for you.
Yeah. Also coffee. No, the coffee comes from the coffee bean.
From the coffee bean. Yeah, and make no mistake, Venetia likes to do a little blow, so she would be an Aztec warrior princess because she does a little blow.
Absolutely. Here's the thing.
Because Upper West Side girls, they like to do a little blow.
They love to do a little tinsy-wincy bit of blow.
If you don't think that there's been a couple of times on Monday mornings, the reason why Venetia hasn't turned her camera on is because she's got a nose strip on like you, but it's from doing blow, you got another thing coming.
Now, here's the thing. Our own producer, comedian Mike Suarez.
Yeah, and he's a comedian. Today, sometimes he has his producer hat on, but he's a fucking comedian. And when we get back to live performing, make no mistake, he's coming out. He's going to open up for us as long as his fucking whooping cough stays at bay.
Yeah. Now, Mikey Suarez is a Mexican kid who probably carries the history of the Mexican people in his bloodline because his last name is Suarez, which is a Spanish name.
Diabetes, I do.
Diabetes. Also, he loves tortillas, but beyond that, his last name is Suarez, which is Spanish. The Spanish conquered the whole region, which means at some point his mestizo mom got fucking banged out by a conquistador.
It's what it is.
And whatever conquistador that was, the kid was a little bit gordo because his genetic code is once you hit a certain age, you're going to blow out. So Daddy was a little gordo.
He was a little gordo, but it's interesting because that's something that.
Because what if Mike comes from a long line of guys who just fell off roofs?
It's what it is. Yeah.
What if his ancient ancestor just fell off one of those temples and stumbled down the stairs and it started from there?
That's just always what it's going to be. Because it's interesting you say that because, what's mind-blowing thing, what I don't think a lot of people know, is like the Aztecs, like you think that they're in Mexico and so, ancient world, you're like, oh, they must speak Spanish. But like people in Mexico, like Spain, just came into South America and Central America and just started making people that we assume right now that are like, oh, that person's Spanish. They were never speaking Spanish before the Spanish Empire came in the 14 and 1500s. So that whole language, that whole, Tectacunin and all these words, the ancient Mayans, ancient Incas, ancient Aztecs, they did not speak Spanish at all. They had their own language, their own words. It was all symbols and paintings. It was like none of this was Spanish. So I don't think a lot of people realize that.
Yeah, I mean, those are all dead languages that are gone because once the Spanish came in and conquered Spanish, Christianity, I mean, all the Mexicans, are Catholic now. That's not because that was their God. I mean, that's, the Europeans came in and said, this is your new God. It's our God. And by the way, while you pray to this God, show me where fucking El Dorado is because I'm here for the gold, babe. And why do I want the gold? Oh, let's just say my God needs it. Shut the fuck, babe. Show me the gold, babe.
Show me the gold, babe.
Basically what the Europeans came for, they came for the gold, babe, and they took the gold, babe, and that's what it is.
That's what it is, yeah. I mean, you have Hernan Cortés is probably the most famous Spanish conquistador, and he just came in, and he's the one. So in the 1500s, Montezuma II was the fucking top FF of the Aztec Empire. He allegedly he was like a good, ruler and everything was fine. But that motherfucker Cortez came in and said, listen, babe, we're here for Jesus. We're here to give you guys Jesus and take your gold. So he made Montezuma II give up his empire and was like, listen, you're just going to be a prisoner. It's going to be cute. And then unfortunately, he fucking killed him. And that's just how it worked. You just got killed. And then they were like, whoopsie, a little red tape. They covered it up. The government covered it up. They're like, yeah, we killed him. And then they just took the empire and they took all the gold. They took 80 tons of gold. It's like hundreds of millions of dollars in today's currency because the Aztec kids didn't look at gold as currency. They were like, we need the gold for other reasons. It was like a part of their religion.
Yeah, especially those Musica people.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Montezuma was basically the Sam Adams of the Aztec Empire. His daddy was John Adams, who was the second president, and then he was Montezuma II. And the kid was supposedly a good ruler. And understand, when Cortez came, they took him. Cortez made the sort of bold move to because Montezuma had heard about the Spanish hitting land because the Spanish hit land up by the Mayans, and the Spanish were fucking people up because they had swords and steel, and they also had unbeknownst to them at the time, they had the weapon of germs that were just wiping people out. So Montezuma was kind of smart, and he said, you know what? When these people march down these conquistadors who he thought were kind of like godlike people. He thought they were like God, some god that was coming to reclaim their throne because they've been stupid. He said, we're going to welcome them with open arms, and he was diplomatic. So he welcomed Cortez and his people in, and then Cortez, who was way outnumbered, goes, I'm just going to, because Montezuma was a little Franks and beans, he just left himself unguarded. They just kidnapped Montezuma. So they just took Montezuma, and they figured that would, because he was a deity god, much like the Egyptians used to have, that maybe that the people would just worship them now.
Well, and it's interesting because even the word, like, there's a lot of words that come from the Aztec language, which was Nahuatl. Nahuatl was the Aztec language, and there's certain words that come from coyote. We have the word coyote, the word avocado, the word chili, the word chocolate. That's all from Nahuatl. And then a word, because like you mentioned with Cortez said that Cortez came in and started killing people and really, kind of overtaking the Aztecs. But the biggest thing that killed them was the disease. The smallpox and the disease killed everybody and kind of just spread over the whole colony. And the Aztec word for that is Chinese.
Yeah. Now, let's just back it up.
It's just what it is. But the Chinese are in now spreading the virus like smallpox from the Spaniards. So
they're doing to us, to the dirty Europeans, what dirty Europeans have done to indigenous peoples for thousands and thousands of years.
Yeah.
Now, let's just back it up again to set the setting, because this is actually very fascinating, people, and then we'll get into the fucking human sacrifice and all the wild shit.
Yeah, I can't. But wait, let's set the setting. I have a feather. I'm full of feathers, and I'm in turquoise. Go.
You are. It's just fascinating to think that the Aztec capital, which is right by Mexico City,
Tehuacán,
was founded on. It was actually an ancient abandoned city that they found, where it was that city. The archaeologists believe was founded in around the Roman times. So it was like
way earlier.
So the Aztecs founded their city about 1325 AD, but like maybe 1,000 years earlier, there was this other city an empire that nobody knows anything about, that was completely wiped out, and they don't know why. Maybe neighboring tribes, maybe a disease, maybe a climate change. But these ruins had massive, massive, massive pyramids, temples that were similar to the Egyptians. That is fucking wild, because it was around the time of the Egyptians as well, in a totally far-off land, and they had no idea about each other. Or did they?
Yeah, or did they? It might have been aliens, because you got to understand how wild that is, because in the 15th and 16th century, the Renaissance period in Europe, the Christopher Columbus, when he sailed to looking for a new trade route to get to the West Indies and to find the new land, they had no idea North America and South America even existed. So you got to understand how wild that is, because the Aztecs, who were in fucking, they had leaves for underwear. How could they and their ancient and the people 1,000 years before them, if the most advanced society didn't even know that North America and South America existed, how could they know to build pyramids that look exactly the same or very close to something in Africa and Egypt? I mean, it's just fucking wild. The only answer is aliens.
It's really fucking wild. And when Columbus was the first cat to really go down there, when he landed in the Bahamas.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about Franks and beans? Do you want to talk about Franks and fucking beans? Let's talk about Christopher Columbus. I mean, that kid, he was looking for, he thought he was in Asia, and the kid wound up in the Bahamas, and he thought he was in the West Indies and started calling people from the Bahamas Indians. I mean, the kid's a little Franks, no? I mean, the kid went the wrong way.
It's actually funny that a whole population of people got known as Indians because Christopher Columbus thought they were Indians.
Yeah, I mean, the kid's Franks. He's fucking Franks, and he was a little bit of a dick. Because here's the thing. I mean, like anybody else in history, I mean, this is what it is. Unfortunately, to get your name in the history books, you usually got to do something a little fucked up and just got to be a little bit of a dick. And I think Chrissy Columbus was. I mean, all the other ancient rulers killed people and smallpox and blah, 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 blah. But there's one dick move. I'm like, guy. So when Columbus told people when he's on the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria, which everybody knows about, he said he would have a soldier go on the top post, and he said, when you see land, yell tierra, tierra, and the first person who sees land is going to get $10,000. I want to say a month.
He didn't say that. It was the queen that said the first person who sees land is going to get 10,000 gold coins or whatever for the rest of their life every year.
Every year, which is a lot of fucking money. So there was a kid. He was a 21-year-old kid. His name was Rodrigo de Triana. Veneti just went a little pioing because of that name. Rodrigo de Triana, and so did I. He saw land, he claims, on October 12th, 1492 at 2 a.m. He said he saw land. He started yelling, Tierra, Tierra, and everyone got excited. But then Christopher Columbus said that he saw it the night before at 10 p.m., and Christopher Columbus took the prize. So that's a little bit fucked up, and it really bothered the Rodrigo de Triana kid for so long that he actually hung himself a few years later, which is a little, not dope.
Yeah, and when it comes to the proper way to say he hung himself is they tell you is to say hanged, but that doesn't work. So let's just change. I'm making an official announcement on the History Hyenas that we are changing the lexicon. It's okay to say he hung himself. Because every time you say hung, somebody's got to correct you and say that's not the way you say it. You're supposed to say hanged. Well, you know what? That doesn't make fucking sense. That's Franks and Beans. It's called hung. He hung himself.
He hung himself. It's stupid. I don't like it.
Guys, we got to tell you about Tushy. Chrissy, I mean, we're always talking about fumes on our podcast. There are ways in the future to eliminate fumes that are more efficacious than toilet paper.
Yeah, I woke up one day and I said, you know what? I want to treat my butt right today. I want to treat my butt right. And how I treat my butt right is with Tushy.
Yeah.
If you got poop on any other part of your body, would you just wipe it off with dry paper? Let me ask you that. If you had poop on your forehead, would you wipe it off with dry paper? I don't think so. Water cleans better than dry paper, my friends. So that's why you need Tushy. Okay?
You got to get yourself a fucking Tushy bidet. I mean, would you even clean up anything off the floor with a dry? No, you wet it. You got to wet your butt. You got to wet your smashed bean, guy.
Because Tushy sprays water directly into your ass and removes the poop completely. Like, look, listen to this. Listen to this. See? Now I need some Tushy. I need some Tushy to clean out because I got some spackle back there, and I'm not going to use dry paper. I'm not going to use my hands. I'm not going to use the beloved American flag. I'm going to use Tushy.
Yeah, I mean, because Tushy sprays your ass with fresh water. It's not toilet water. It's not toilet water. Tushy connects to the water supply behind your toilet. It's fresh water. You can fucking drink it. We don't recommend it, but you can drink it. And it sprays right into your dirty asshole, and it cleans it with fresh water. Yeah.
Yeah, wet wipes, they're worse than toilet paper. They're terrible for the environment. They cause anal fissures, which my dad has, and you don't want your anus fissuring. And
they fucking block up your plumbing system.
Because it's only $79. $79. That's all for fucking Tushy. But here's the good news. Here's the good news. If you go to hellotushy.com, HELLOTUSHY.com/fumes, you get 10% off your order. Okay? 10% off that $79 offer.
Right. You can go to hellotushy.com/fumes as well. So go to hellotushy.com/fumes to get 10% off your order. And let me just tell you something, cuz it's very easy to install. All right. It's a sleek bidet attachment that clips onto your existing toilet to spray your butt completely clean with fresh water. Tushy. Go to tushy.com/hyenas right now and get yourself a fucking bidet for the fumes.
HelloTushy.com/fumes. Clean your ass. Thank you.
Yeah,
cuz. So, listen.
So Christopher Columbus, that was before. So he never found the Aztecs. The kid died in 1504. But then the conquistadors started coming, and Christopher Columbus actually set up a little colony with his brother Diego and another fucking Spanish kid. And then after that, Cortez comes. And when Cortez comes, these motherfuckers are looking for gold. They take out the Mayans, I think, first, or they take out a couple of other tribes, and then they march down to the Aztecs. They take out Montezuma, and that is the end of the freaking Aztec Empire. But while the Aztec Empire was going on, cuz, they did some wild fucking rituals.
Yeah, they had some wild rituals. I mean,
what were those temples for?
The temples were for fucking human sacrifice, guy. I mean, it was just human sacrifice like you can't imagine. They would cut out the beating hearts. They would cut the limbs off. I mean, they would just beheading people. They believed, especially the nobles, you had to bleed every day or else the sun wouldn't come up. And I'm like, guy, couldn't you just do one test and just, hey, if I don't bleed today and the sun still comes up, maybe the sun's going to come up and I don't have to draw my blood. But that's not the way they saw it. They thought the only reason the sun was coming up is because they were bleeding, which is a little Franks and beans.
Yeah. Now, how did it become such a empire, and why was it in that location? Supposedly there was, what's that mineral called they were using to make the arrowheads? Obsidian or some shit?
Oh, obsidian, right?
Obsidian, yeah.
Yeah.
So there was like a big obsidian deposit, whatever fucking mine or whatever close by, and that's what they made their weapons out of. That's what they made their shit out of. Here's what's fascinating to me. They didn't have a wheel. They didn't have steel. They didn't have horses. So they built these massive temples. And how did they do it? They did it supposedly with rolling wood, and they did it by people, by manpower.
Well,
they used stones.
I mean, it's wild because the Aztec children, all the children went to school. They had like forms of government. They had a judicial code, but they had no writing. They didn't have words. So it's like I don't understand how. I'm telling you, at the same time that like King Henry VIII was like building castles and like they were writing books, and Isaac Newton, these people were across the water in leaves for underwear with wooden spears. It was kind of wild, but that doesn't mean, but it's not like they were so far behind. They just had different ways of expressing themselves and different, things that they would do. I thought they were pretty fascinating. And
yeah, unfortunately the truth is, no matter which way you slice it, they were a little behind.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the politically correct thing to say, but it is the truth thing to say. They were behind in a lot of things, but it wasn't their fault because they didn't have horses. Horses weren't indigenous to the Americas till the Europeans brought them. They didn't have the exposure to those germs. They didn't need a lot of the things to survive on their continent that the Europeans needed to survive on their continent, which has more longitudinal, and that's latitudinal, whatever. So the Europeans became the first to get all the guns, germs, and steel, basically is because of their geographical location. It was a wide area that went sort of east to west as opposed to north to south. When you go north to south, the climate changes a lot, and so the people traveled less. You couldn't just hop on a train or a plane and meet other cultures. And other cultures evolved quicker by coming into contact with other cultures, which the Europeans benefited from.
Cuz, let me ask you this, though. Being an Aztec person, when Spain comes in with Cortez and the rest of the conquistadors, when they come in and the first thing you see is a horse, that majestic, beautiful animal, because they had no horses there, would you want to bang that out? I mean, I can't. What's sexier than a horse? Maybe a giraffe?
I mean, no, maybe a lioness?
A female lion? Well, Nala from the Lion King, sure, I moved my monkey to her, but that's because it's a cartoon. But I'm talking about an actual animal that I genuinely would have sex with. Would probably the first one I'd go for is a horse.
Yeah, I mean, that's disturbing. That's a real disturbing thing to say.
Yeah, I'd lift up its tail and I just bang it out. I mean, what can you do
They're beautiful, beautiful animals for sure.
You know what was an interesting thing about Aztec law? They had this one specific part of their law. It was called the one-time forgiveness law. And under the law, a citizen could confess a crime to a priest. They were always confessing to priests, could confess a crime to a priest, and they would be forgiven. It only worked if they confessed the crime prior to being caught. It could also only be used once in your life, which is fucking wild.
That is fucking wild.
If you killed somebody, you just like, look, I did it. And you use that once, and then that's it. You get a jail-free card. So it's like, what do you think we should bring that law back into today's times?
Why the hell not?
I mean, why not? If you accidentally get into a fight and you kill your fucking wife and just be like, look, I'm sorry, I did. It was a crime of passion. I mean, what do you think of that?
Why the hell not? I mean, maybe we should become more of a warlike people like the Aztecs. They were a warlike people. That's the basic character. That's like the main characteristic of this empire. They would often go out and kill other tribes, and they went on the offense just like the Romans did. Because when you have an empire, you don't want to let other tribes get strong around you and then come and conquer you. So they would go on the offense, conquer these tribes. But like Chrissy said, a big part of what they wanted from them was not to kill them, but was to take them captive so they can bring them back and sacrifice them at the top of their temples for their gods. Their gods were thirsty for human hearts, so they would lay the captive on a stone, hold him down. There would be a priestess that would hold him down, and they would cut his fucking heart out, hold the beating heart up for the god. They would all cheer or whatever, and they'd throw it in a bowl while it was still beating, and supposedly that was like would satiate the god because the kid, that god liked to eat bleeding hearts.
Yeah, and you know what? But they were against circumcision, so I feel like they were like before their times because it's wrong. It's genital mutilation.
Yeah. So did they cut their kids or what did they do?
They probably snipped them. I mean, because circumcision had to come from somewhere. I mean, the kids probably got snipped. It depends, you know.
I think the Jews were the first to snip.
Because I got to be honest with you, every time I watch Aztec documentaries, though, I don't know who's a man or who's a woman. They all kind of just look like Smurfs to me.
Yeah, they look a little Smurfy. Yeah, I mean, they would wear it like they covered themselves in paints. They ran around a lot. They were kind of to think that they built those temples without horses or levers or wheels. They couldn't invent the wheel. They didn't figure out the wheel. I mean, those were hardworking kids, and those temples were made out of like, you know, adobe bricks and limestones. I mean, those kids were moving heavy things. They were moving fucking horses.
They were moving heavy things, and you know, if you use like an indigenous Peruvian or an indigenous Ecuadorian or other Central American people, or even indigenous Mexicans, you know, those are the people who derive from the Aztecs, the Incas, and all those ancient tribes. And one thing is fucking for sure clear, because it still remains today, is those kids are squeaks.
Squeaks.
I mean, the Aztecs were fucking squeaks.
They were little
short kids.
They were tiny fucking kids, and a lot of times you see the descendants from the Mexica people. Those kids are still fucking squeaks.
I mean, it's funny. It's funny that they're squeaks because and it's true because the indigenous, like from where the Aztec people would be, those are squeaks. If you ever see a taller Mexican, obviously not 100%, but most likely through the research I did, those are coming from Europe. Those are when Spain conquered, they got those tall genes. But the little squeaky ones, those are usually derived from the ancient tribes. So they were just squeaky people.
Yeah, like I was saying, Mike's probably got the history of Mexico in his blood. As you know, his last name's Suarez, so he's probably got like a mixture of mestizo, like indigenous, Indian, and some sort of Spanish conquerors. Like Sergio did the 23andMe. He's a Puerto Rican kid, but his blood is 100% Portuguese. He has no mestizo in there. So a lot of the kids down there in South America and Latin America, a lot of those kids are just the descendants of either a mix of mestizo and European, or strictly European or strictly mestizo.
Yeah, it's fucking mestizo. What can you do? I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, listen, I mean...
and the mestizo are basically Native Americans. They're Indians. And they're the descendants, supposedly, of Asian kids. They're Eastern Hemis who walked over the Bering Strait and walked down. Their genetic codes suggest that they came from Asia, and they walked, and when they walked, they probably did it barefoot. They stopped a little bit.
Because it's all the white man's fault. That's the motto of every podcast we do, is when in doubt, just blame it on the white man, and you're good to go.
That's all you got to do. Can you believe the Aztecs maybe created an early version of basketball?
Yeah, I mean, they created an early game of basketball. They loved chocolate. I mean, they were black kids. I mean, you know, it's just what it is. The early game of basketball, which was you couldn't use your hands, though. I think you could only use like your hips and your feet, and you would kick it through a hole, a circle that was on the wall. A good movie to watch to learn about them is Apocalypto. You ever seen Apocalypto with Mel Gibson?
No.
Yeah, I mean, Apocalypto is a wild fucking movie. They show, I don't know if it's actually about the Aztecs, but it's about like the ancient Mexican, you know, people that lived in Mexico.
Yeah, supposedly they had a rubber ball, and they would pass the ball around using their hips, shoulders, heads, and knees. Almost sounds like soccer a little bit. And some historians believe the game was used in preparation for war. And it was called Ula Malitsili.
Yeah, it was used in preparation for war, and it was wild because if the winning team, not the losing team, the winning team would be sacrificed and killed at the top of the mountain, which is fucking wild.
Yeah, I mean, you know, in these other civilizations, they did a lot of great things, but also life was brutes magoots.
It was brutes magoots, and like anything else, they were able to convince. The only way to get people to fight in wars and to even be willing members of the human sacrifice is you promised them the bullshit in the afterlife. So if you died in war, then you went to the top level of the afterlife. If you died by drowning, you went to the underworld, the bottom level of the afterlife. So kids didn't mind going to war. They just didn't want to get in a pool with no swimmies on.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
The kid Cortez, when he landed, also, a lot of people have this myth that it was just like a couple of hundred conquistadors that conquered the Aztec empire. That's not true.
No.
What he did was, Cortez was a smart kid. he made alliances before with about, I mean, I think it was maybe like 1,000. So when he marched on the Aztec Empire, he had probably about 600 conquistadors. He had cannons. He had some prehistoric guns. He had fucking bows and arrows. He had swords. And he also had a massive army of allies that he had made with other tribes who were enemies with the Aztecs that lived outside of the bounds of the Aztec Empire. So he didn't do it alone because he was a smart diplomatic kid who, much like the Europeans did on the American continent, made an alliance with other tribes to take down the Aztecs.
Yeah, fucking smart. I mean, smart. If you ever get a chance. And then
after he killed Montezuma, he fled because there was a riot. They would try to kill him. He was able to fight his way out. And while he was gone, what happened was smallpox that had been brought to the continent decimated the population. Between 50 and 90% of the Aztecs just died from smallpox. So when the Europeans came back, I mean, it was easy pickings, cuz.
It was easy pickings. I mean, it was just one of those things. It was it was their version of Corona. I mean, they gave them the Rona, and then they came and swooped in. It's just what might happen here, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's just what happened. The germs took them out, and then from there, more conquistadors came after Cortez. And Spain just kind of took over the Mayans, took over the Aztecs, the Inca, and it was a wrap. And from there on, the kids were playing basketball like Pau Gasol, and it's just what it is.
Yeah, it was probably it must have been funny though for like the Aztecs to like see the Spanish conquistadors come in, and then them just cut like Hernan Cortez, and he came in and just said, "We are your leaders now. We all lead your people.
We're your leaders, and we're just these fair-skinned kids who are wearing metal clothes." I mean, the kids had metal clothes.
Metal clothes. We're from Spain, and our clothes are made of metals. And yes, we're gonna have.
Can you imagine what the fucking swamp ass would be? I mean, the swamp ass is bad when you go to Mexico and you're wearing jeans. Can you imagine if you were fucking wearing a metal suit?
Oh my God! It must have been fumes for fucking days. Fumes. Now, and I'm sure, unfortunately, I mean, when the conquistadors got there, some of those Aztec women might have gotten banged out against their will, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, that's just kind of the whole way I think Yanni Paps got here was, unfortunately, when you look through history, it's just civilization after civilization getting banged out by another civilization. And unfortunately, we all have little things in us where there was sometimes a lack of consent in the sex.
Yeah, and it's brutes magoots. It's fucking totes brutes magoots. But it's just the way it was in history, and I'm happy that we're living in a part of history now where that's not happening anymore.
Yeah, no, thank God we're at this point. But to get here, it was definitely not a straight line. Sometimes it was an illegal line. I got a lot of Turk in me, and I don't think that happened consensually.
Yeah, and I'm 100% German, and I don't know why.
Yeah, but you're not 100% German. You got some dirty fucking potato monkey in there, and also you got some sauce monkey in there. Just a little touch.
Yeah, just a little touch.
Yeah.
Bubbers, I think that was a fucking good episode, but what I'm really excited to do right now is read the Patreon names, because make no mistake, we got about 9,000 new because we got a new group of Aztec Warrior patrons that came on. I mean, you guys have been hitting the floodgates like you can't believe. I think there's like 850 new Patreon names. So we can't get to them all, but Bubba's, I'm going to try.
Let's do it.
Okay, let me do it. Let's start, as always.
Try to do it in the native Aztec language of Nahuatl.
So, as always, if you guys go to patreon.com/Bay Ridge Boys, that's where you can get on the Patreon and see all the stuff that we have behind our paywall, like Wepa in the Morning, our morning show, Ladder 14, the Conservative Firefighter, Sean Terry, Patrick Mulrooney, and so much other shit, so much behind-the-scenes stuff. And if you go to patreon.com/Bay Ridge Boys, we will read your name out at the end of an episode. So if you want to make it funny, good for you. We love to laugh. We will give somebody the PPW, the pseudo penis of the week, for the best name. And if you don't want to make a name, that's fine too. We just say your name straight to the back and you're just here for the content. That's fine. Okay? So I'm going to start reading the names. We got a lot, but they're always funny. We make it fun, so just buckle up. And by the way, you guys make it fun because the names are tense. Okay, here we go. Fuming Girth McKillicuddy bringing the crown to Pound Town. That's what we're starting off with.
And we're starting off with a banger. Put them on the list already.
Michael Matchett, Connor Valadez, who sounds like a conquistador.
Yes.
Jason, I thought I was screwed in, but it was just my Theo Ted cleaning me out with his fuck pouch Ferrario.
Oh God, how many we? I mean,
Mikey, mark those two.
Okay.
Dave Crisp, Iman Dibba, Vic, Jesus Corona or Jesus Corona, Reggie in his cage getting edgy while Venetia pegs me. Yeah.
I mean, you got to put him on the list.
Rudolfo Rodriguez, Amber Siegel, Paige Grimes, Juan Sandoval, Patrick Pitter Patter my piece till it splatter.
That's gonna be the winner. Yeah, mark it. He's probably the winner. Is going to be hard to beat
because there's 600 more. So
I know.
But we won't get to all of them. We're not going to get to all of them. We'll stop in a little bit. So just don't worry about it. Just have fun, people. Kendra W, Mitch Smythe, Penis McFart, Joe. You two ain't ever going to be on JRE Rogan. Nice. For your convenience, Patrick LeDuc, Sierra Morgan, Breeson Tassano, Scott, Father Bill, touch my character piece. I mean, it's creative. It's good market. Ashley Meyer, Chrissy, eat your booty like groceries for a Clarendon D. Nice. Jennifer, bad biddy, big titty, enjoys Leroy's. There you go.
Put it on the list.
Put on the list, mark it. Orion Burke, Chrissy Clarendon D, give me dick acne. Nice. Yeah.
Because calling a venereal disease dick acne is a 10. Put him on the list.
He's on the list. Adam Rudy. I'm sorry. Christina used to be Chris, but I put too much Lakeside in. So hold on. Christina used to be Chris, but I put too much Lakeside in my piece and it fell off. Nice.
Good attempt.
Adam Rudy. Andrew Loveridge. John Finucchio. Dave the Greek with a little piece. I'm sorry. Dave the Greek with a little piece, cracking Chrissy D with my Yanni P. Ladder 14 character piece. That's a good name.
Wow. Put him on the list. Benjamin Wunderlich. William Griswold. Chrissy, my uvula is ISIS, and Father Bill's piece is Bradley Cooper from American Sniper. I love it. Put him on the list.
On the list.
Yeah, I mean, they're all going to be winners. We can't pick a winner. There's too many, but we're just putting you on a list. It means it was good.
Yeah. Johnny Salami, send Yanni to the army. Betro. Nice. Alfred Lawden. Neil McSkimming. Trevor Shords. Chrissy Corona gives me a boner. Nice.
Good one.
Christian Conover. Mike Oakes. Whitney Janney. Stefan Demandis. Jay Toast. Give it up for David. 58 minutes for Richie Lulu. Libbuck. Sandra D. A.K.A. Amrit Dhaliwal. I don't know. You're wild.
Stephen Mustache. Think of a swim.
Stephen Mustache Show. Venetia said sensitive nipples. I went pewing. Yeah. Alexander the Great was Macedonian, not Greek. Fight me. Nice.
Nice one. Political statement.
FF, Cuck, Canuck, Chrissy D in my base, mashed tates, in my face, Yanni P and lace.
Good one.
Yeah, I love it.
List.
Louis, I have syphilis and love homemade sauce, Mancini.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, that's just too good. It's too good.
Mark it. Okay. Ian Green, David Espidia Morales, Arnold Schwartzen, Wei Shun Xia in 2020. Yeah. Single Eastern Hemi looking for an interracial threesome with Venetia and Maurisa.
Goody. Put him on the
list. James Crowley, Zach Mitchell, Christopher Albarico, Mikey Creatine Shits takes Mikey Creatine Shits, Takabayashi 69. Okay, nice. Mikey Creatine Shits I like it. Kevin Maldonado, Carlo Laforte, Jared Novak, Brandon Green, Nav, South Asian Fumes on my peen, Ladder 14, Bearda. Nice. Adam Benabid, Elizabeth, Connor Turgian, Peter Papa Manuel. I mean, that's a Greek name. Papaemmanuil.
Yeah,
that's a Greek name.
Venetia, how do you pronounce that?
What? Papa what?
Papaemmanuil.
UIL. Papa Manuel.
Peter Papa Manuli. Okay.
I don't know. Sorry. Manolis. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Manolis. Michael Russell. Then we got B from KY, make no mistake, I'll crack open and clean out my cousin's monkey. Okay. Matt Lowe, Hannah Nash, Alex Velasquez, Cody Pritt, Jackson Kohler. Trav likes his salad tossed with sauce. Oh, hold on. Trav likes his salad tossed with sauce, D, and feta. Wait, what the fuck? Some of these names are so hard.
Trav? Salad toss with sour D and feta P, nah mean babe.
Nice.
Real nice.
Bad read, sorry. Javier Parra, Joaquin Marpa, Vito Rastelli, Stephanie Dobson, Panda Mandalane, Chandler Goodson, Jason just behind that fence Schmitty. Yeah. I love it. I love it. Austin, Morgan, no fumes with a hairy bassoon.
Real good. Put him on a list.
Yeah. Aaron, Eastern Hemi toot, Chrissy so cute, but he can't lick my shoot because his throat can't handle the fumes. Yeah. Storm. JM. Chrissy, I'm not gay unless the Supreme Leader Andrew Schultz says I am. Butcher. Calling him the Supreme Leader is funny.
Yeah.
Lucas, let a squeak get deep. Now my butt cheeks leak. Clayton.
Real good.
I mean, he said he let a squeak get deep. Now my butt cheeks leak.
I mean, this is just, they're all getting so good.
This guy's name is Wes Shanshian. Nice.
I mean, that's amazing, Wes Shanshian. Yeah.
Wes Shanshian. I love it. Luke Blaine, Rafferty voting for a potato for Prez 2020. Flynn. Nice. Kyle Rodriguez, Chase Fury, Graham Kelly, Lou the Sand Jew, and if I ever see Zach Isis, we're going to have a Middle Eastern crisis.
He's the winner. He's the winner.
Yeah, okay. I'll read a few more. Brett, I got 2 last names because I got 2 gay dads, Merritt Sesente. I mean, this guy's great, too. Mikey, tongue punch your fart box, character piece, go Red Sox, O'Malley. Anthony, hey, I'm walking here, Rossi. Nice. Lakeside Maple Beads. Nice.
That's what you call original. That's what you call original.
Yeah. Keegan Grantham, Jason Hernandez, Joseph Jordan, Seth, the Southern Twink, looking for some Yankee stink. Premo.
I mean, 10. So good.
Adam, Elijah clapped a snack but got clapped back with the clap. Lawson. Nice. Anthony, Jorge De La Cruz, Megan McDonald, Nick, Jace, if you want to build a microwave, just wake up the boys. Laura Carmody, Octavio Diaz, Nikki's dad signed him up for baseball but never came to one game. Lacey, okay, just a therapy session. Dom, spin the wheel, let's make a deal. Hadareki. John King, Sloppy Plopper, a.k.a. Sketchy Rectum. Okay. Then we got Boof for Jesus. Chris Woodard, Lucas, Cokes my keto, toots my cardio, Montana. Nice.
Nice.
Shit britches the back door, gutter slut, all caps. Chrissy is right. My piece leans right. Trump 2020. Nice.
Okay.
Cody Amato, Anthony, the Clyde Drexler support. I'm sorry. Anthony, the Clyde Drexler support group for non-toots, Biscardi. Nice. Clyde Drexler. David, the screwed in piece, pinned back to my nutsack Putnam. Sean, all balls, no dick, Venegas.
I mean, just funny, straight up funny.
All balls. Then we got Q-Nanan, Q-Anan, I meant to say.
Yeah.
Just the Q. Yep.
Well, that's Andrew, based on Andrew Cunanan.
Yeah. Olivia DeNovelis, James O'Connell, go back in history and let Benny Frank's glue take me to Poughkeepsie. Nice. Joel. Then we got Benzo Endigo, Edmund Kremper, Earwind, John, Ben, Max and Steuben, get my monkey moving. Then we got Nick, don't worry, it's chlamydia, not corona, Mano. Nice.
Real good.
Then we got Anthony, piss on me, beat me, and suck on my pee-pee, Francis. All right, I got about 10 more. 10 more. Vladimir Doskolov, Raj Radia, Mark, Taylor Holman, Brandon Jacas, Clint Henry, Ethan Critchfield, Robert Riad. Cure for Corona is a mixture of Chris and Yanni's glue. Brody Madden, Nathan Tucketback for Yanni's Glue Kazoo, in the Cincinnati Zoo, R.I.P. Harambe.
I mean, yeah, on the list.
Yeah. So, hold on. Okay, here we go. I'll end on one more. Robert Scruden, Non-Fume Laka Monkey Williams, Logan Siegel, Dylan Kennedy, Frankie Britt, Jake, I need to get my dick in the shop because I have Corona cock. Here for the Greeks, Yanni is a squeak, but Venetia is a piece. Nice.
Real good. Real good.
Then we got Yaz Queef.
You skipped Dave Roberts.
Which one did I spend?
Dave Roberts.
Oh, Dave Roberts.
Okay.
Plays for the Boston Red Sox. Yaz Queef, Bridget Velez, and then I guess we'll end on this one. Father Bill put his fumed skin flute in Chrissy's poop chute. That's why Chrissy loves toots.
Good one. I mean, did we ever say skin flute, Mike?
We just said it.
No, I know, but where did it come from that so many names have the skin flute in it?
I don't know. I don't think you guys ever said it. I know they said it in Dirty Old Men, but I don't know.
I would say there's more skin flute names than anything.
Yeah.
How many did we get, Mikey? How many did we bang out? Do you have any idea? Was it 200, you think?
164.
What? So should we go a few more?
Let's get to 200.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to 200. Okay, hold on. Let me find it. Where did I end off, Mikey? Do you remember?
Father Bill put his fumed skin flute in Chrissy's poop chute. That's why Chrissy loves toots.
Okay. Well, let me just find it because I closed it out. Hold on.
And how many total do we got?
Like 875, I think.
Yeah, the problem
we're just behind.
Yeah, we're behind because we haven't recorded a fresh episode in a while.
Yeah.
And plus, it's a good problem to have because we got a lot of people joining. So thank you guys so much for joining, especially during these times.
Yes.
You support the show you love, and you get the gifts you deserve because our Patreon is chock full, loaded with content.
Here we go. All right, picking up the Monkey Mover and Hot Glue Hoover.
Good one.
Pop out with a Dolma-sized piece, but extra tzatziki. Nice. Corey Del Monte. Jessica, will you still crack me when I'm fumed out Westrick? Okay. John Knizer. Rita Poon. Ray Castro. South Texas Steve 16. Dory Healy. TBG here for Yanni P's half-clean smash bean.
Oh, God. I mean, creative points. Put them on a list. Put them all on the fucking list.
Nick Dip has al dente bitch hips. Yeah. Aaron cracked open by a leaky toot with a huge pair of fruit hinds. Okay. Joseph Cito, Scoot B, Taylor Ray, Ashley Woods, Joseph Blomgren, Jody Adams, Nate Martin. Got a drip off the tip. It's what it is. Jake, Chrissy Strudel Poodle going Auschwitz on my noodles. Scott. Okay. I mean, they're so good. Then we got Karsten, Bernard Rich, Joshua Yamat, Greg Wanda, Tom Hanks got it from Down Under. Love it. Zach, Eligio Benjamin, Lucas Fredreres, Luke Easter, Jimmy the Fumed Up Cuzzy Wuzzy, Keenan Opie, Archimedes 49, Elena Namey, Jefferson Rojas, Courtney Funk, Jordan, Stephen J. McClary, Molly Holer, 521 Ando, Josh and Johnny Cage, flawless victory over Luke Kang Lung. Luke Kang Lung. Great.
And we're over 200.
Okay, I'll end on 5 more. Tommy Davis, Matthew B. Pope, Josh, Luke Coffey, and then last but not least, Chrissy, give me your D while you drink Giannis's pee.
Oh, boy, yeah, that's more of an offer. All good. We've gotten to the point now where I have to say, don't feel the need to make a funny name. We appreciate it, but if you just want to come for the content, I mean, you're making our lives a lot easier, too. We appreciate you both ways. Don't feel the pressure. We do encourage you to try to come up with a funny name because that's the whole point of the game. But at this point, if you just want to come for the content, we appreciate you just as much because, babe, we got a lot of people who've joined our channel, and we appreciate you guys are non-toots. That's the highest level rank you can get in the Hyena clan. By the way, cuz, it's fucking Hyena Day today.
Wow. Happy Hyena Day to everybody.
Happy Hyena Day today. Celebrate those fucking fierce bitches. Yeah!
Yes. Remember, patreon.com/BayRidgeBoys, historyhyenas.com for all merch and everything, and we'll have new dates as soon as the world reopens.
And just to reiterate, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern, live. Tune into our morning show, Web in the Morning. Every Saturday night, we're changing it to 7:30 p.m. Tune in live for our fucking little tightrope walk show with the comedian Dan Soder this week. Peace out.
Called No Nets. All right, peace out, Bubbas.